Yo, what's up, guys? This is Tweets here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make your own weed mod. It's pretty much just retexturing the vanilla weed stuff and then configuring everything. So what I did and what I find best is I like to separate each part into their own folder inside the mod file just to keep it organized. So what you do is you create your mod folder. Right here I got sample weed mod. Inside you got your data, your scripts, and your CFG mods config. Just a basic one leading to the for world script folder. Now, your data, I have bags, buds, plants, and seeds separated. So, let's go with bags first. What you'd want to do, and what I find best, is if you go into your P drive, DayZ, go to Gear, Tools, Data, and look for the heat pack texture. And then we just do a little retexture on that to make it an actual bag. I'll show you a real quick sample of how to do that. So heatpack.co. Open that up in GIMP or whatever you use to do your retexturing. Now, what I do is I grab my bot select tool, and then I just want to go around the middle here, this whole section here of the label. Bring up my eraser, right click on the actual source here, and add alpha channel. And then boom, make it transparent, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same over on this side. Just like that. Pretty much like that. That's pretty much what you want. Now, after that, you can export that, or you can go a little further, and if you want, and give this whole thing a little texture or something. So what I do sometimes, I just duplicate it once and take like a texture. I'm just going to use a pattern and say I just overlay a texture, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to edit the attributes. Go to normal, multiply, and now it's overlaid. I'll click on the first one, and then I'll go to colors, brightness, then I'll just mess around and tweak it until I get kind of what I'd want. And then boom, now you have a little baggie, and then you can export it into your mod folder, and then bags, data, and then empty weed bag. I made the orange because this was from an old server that I made, and I made my own weed for it. But so, and then you just export it into your mod folder, and then boom. Now you're also going to want to go in and go to your DayZ, go to Gear, Cultivation, Data. You're going to want the cannabis plant CO, and you are also going to want seeds CO, and then you're going to go back to food in your DayZ folder, data, and you are going to look for down here under cannabis seedman raw CO. Alright, now these are the three you're going to want to texture to whatever colors you want your strain of weed to be. You can change the name, the picture if you want, if you doodle like other different pictures of weed or something, or change the colors. And then same with this. You're going to want to have these kind of match to whatever color or theme you want. Like, you can do, what I usually do sometimes is I'll just go to colors, hue chroma, and you can just tweak it to whatever you want. Or you can make it like a rainbowy color, same way I did the bag. And then multiply that. Then I'll click on the first one, colors, and change the brightness and the contrast till you kind of get what you want. And then that would be kind of like a rainbow colored. I need to do that too, same with the plant. But you're going to want to save, so this one here, the plant, you're going to want to export it once you're done into your weed mod in your P drive under the plants. And then you're going to export it with a different name, obviously, to that folder. Seeds, you're going to want to, same thing, export it into your weed mod under the seeds data with a different name. And then same with the raw, which these would be the buds. So export P drive, your mod folder, buds, and then boom, done. And then that's pretty much the whole texturing process. Now, say you're doing the rainbow colored here, and you want to, I'm just going to merge that down here so it's one. And you want to now make a full bag, so that way when you craft it, you take an empty bag, combine it with the buds, and you get a bag, actual full bag of weed. You can take your pick and pick any of these little buds here from your raw texture for the buds texture. I'm going to go with this one here. Take my bots, selection bots, just select one of them, or you could select this to make it more full, it don't matter. Take your pick. Control C for copy, click on here, paste it, and then I'm going to just make that a new layer. Alright, and then I'm going to just scale it down to whatever makes it fit. And then we're going to get that in position. Move the right thing though. Oh, yeah, I see why. There we go. Move the right thing, and it looks like it needs to be scaled down a little more. So we'll do a couple more inches. Wrong one. We'll go to that. Alright. So then once you get it in, if you're not happy, you can just keep scaling it until you do get what you want. I mean, that's not quite what I want, but you get the idea. And then you can duplicate it, the layer, until you get a more full look on the transparent areas. And then once you get what you want, you'll export it and put it in with the empty bag that you just textured. So your mod folder in your P drive, data, bags, data, and then you'll call it like either like I did, Tweets 40 Haze bag. You can do whatever your name is. And then boom, and that's the bag. So that's pretty much all you're gonna have to do with the texturing part. And then once you have all of that, then you're gonna do your configs. So we'll start at the top, work our way down. So for the bags, it's just a plain inventory base item with the path to the vanilla heat pack model with their hidden selection and a path to your texture. So we got the bag that's full, and we also made sure put them in units also. Now, this is also set for crafted, can be split, and then stack mats of 10. So I have it set so you just stack it up to 10 in one stack. You can change that to whatever number you want, but that's how I have it. And then the size of the item, obviously, in the inventory. And then it's got the vanilla damage system for the heat pad for all the RV mat damage systems. And then same thing for the weed bag, the empty weed bag. Except for you don't need to make this one stackable, but you can to make it save space in inventory. But for the recipe, you're only going to need one bag of weed, so you're going to have to right click and split them up. And then path to, obviously, the texture to your empty bag. And then put that class name in units. And then close it out. And then that's it for the weed bags. Now, you're going to do your buds. Now that is also an inventory base, but with a hidden selection of CS raw. That's most of the plant buds have. And then you're going to have 5 texture paths to your bud textures for each one of the same texture. And then plants raw. So that is not even, yeah, it is here. So it's just a plain RV mat. So let me talk about this here. So this path to a hidden selection materials is just to a plant's raw RV mat. And it's just a plain Jane taken from the vanilla. And no paths in there for anything. I didn't mess with it. You can just take it and keep it as is. Copy it from this folder, put it into yours. And that's that. Now, it's using the model to the vanilla cannabis seed man. So you can just copy this whole thing if you want and put it in your config. It's fine. And change class names, but that's pretty much it. Item size, I usually like to keep it 1 by 1, so it only takes up 1 square of your inventory. Always put it in units. But that's it for that. So it's pretty much for the bags and for the buds, it's just like making a collectible item config, but with CS raw for a hidden selection with 5 paths to the one texture. And then your RV map path for plants raw. That's it. So we covered the bags and now the buds. So now you're going to want to do plants. Now this is where we're going to start getting a little more in depth. So you're going to have CFG horticulture, plants, and then class will be the same class as your plant base that we're going to talk about, with paths to the infested vanilla path, cannabis plant insect, the CO, and the RV mat. And then for the healthy texture, you're going to have your path to your plant texture that you just made. And then this last one here, the healthy material, will be the path to the vanilla cannabis plant. And then that's that. Then your actual plant will, like I said, it's the same class you're going to have up here. Your plant base. Now you have, for hidden selections, you got plant stage 3, 2, 4, 5, 1, and infested parts. Like I said, you could just copy this and put it in yours. Path to the vanilla cannabis plant. Whatever your description and name you want. Path 5 again. 2, 3, correction. sits past to the one plant texture of yours with a path to the vanilla cannabis plant material. Now you're going to also want to make sure under horticulture here, so growth stages, it's 7, so it's how many stages it takes until it's done. Crop count, that's how many buds will come when you harvest. And then crops type is your buds. So you go back to your bud config and you get your class name. And then you put that under crops type. And then that's it for your plant. Now, make sure for the plant, you have a required add-on DayZ data and DayZ deer cultivation. For the bud, DayZ data, DayZ deer food, and then for the bags, DayZ data, DayZ deer tools. You're pretty much going for whatever that config is modded. So that's what you want for hidden selections. Now we got the plants covered. Now it's the seeds. So you got the seeds and then the seed pack. You didn't need to retouch the seeds. So for the seeds, you're going to have your class name also in units. And then your description, your display, path to the vanilla seeds. Now this is how many come. So this is your stack of seeds. So it's 20. It'll stack up to. That's how many will come in it. And then you're going to have your plant. So plant type equals your plant class name, which is what we just went over, your plant. So you go back to your plant config, get your plant class name, and put it under plant type, under the seeds. Then the seed pack, you're going to have the model to a vanilla seed pack model. I just used the Zucchini P3D path. And then you're going to, do any display name description, loot categories, materials, size of it in your inventory, loot tag, farm, kitchen, forester, because this is just a seed pad, hidden selections, Zybitech, and then your path to your new seed pack texture, and then just the vanilla seeds RV mat damage. Now horticulture, you're going to want it to go to your seeds. So the first part of the config right up here, the class name of just the seeds. Just like you did the plant there, but you're using the seeds for the seed pack. So that tells the game when you open the pack, it drops those seeds and not random or nothing. So that way you get your actual seeds. Quantity of the seeds, I have it set to 9 because the vanilla gardens have 9 plots in them. And then that's just all stuff here. You don't really have to edit this part here, the empty pad part. You don't have to do any of that. But that covers the seed pack, which is also for required add-ons, DayZ deer cultivation and DayZ data. And that's the seeds. Now, once you have all of that, it's just the scripting now. So first you have a recipe script, which I did. It's just a basic recipe where I did the bud combined with the empty bag. We did a full bag of the weed, and then that's it. You can go a little further and do bricks. I'll talk about that in a minute. So I added this part just in case, so you can have your bag, the full bag, with 16 here, negative 16, meaning you need the quantity of 16 bags in order for it to work. combined with duct tape will give you a brick. Now, I left this in the script so that way you guys have it, but I don't have it in the mod itself. But I'll talk about making a brick after we're done with the scripts. Now, once you have your recipe, you got to get your recipe manager to call your recipe for the crafting that you just made, which is the top class right there. And then that will be right there. Register recipe new. And there you go. And that'll register that recipe. Then you need your entities. So you have garden base. It's just this. You don't have to mess with it. Just slap it in your scripts folder. Just like that. And then item base. So now we have our buds. It's just extends item base with your class name. Bags is same thing as buds. And if you're going to do a brick, it'd be the same thing. You put the brick class name there, save it as, and you'll have a third one here. It'll be sampleweed brick. It'll be just extended item base. And that's all you want for bags, buds, and if you do bricks. Seed pad base. You're going to have your seed pad. It's just going to be your seed pack class, not the actual seeds that you made, but your seed pack. And then it extends seed pad base. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then under gear, you got cultivation. And then in here, you have your plant class name, which is plant base. Void your plant class name. This way you don't get no script errors. And then full maturity time. This is how long it'll take from planting to full growth. And I believe that is in seconds. So 900 seconds, 15 minutes. You can raise, lower, whatever. And that's it. Now, if you do choose to do bricks, it's the same thing as the bags. So you would just create another inventory item and then use a bag or a brick. For example, you could go to maybe clothing. I'm not sure where actually. Maybe it's under gear. Containers. First aid kit. You can use the first aid kit and just retexture it and kind of give it like your weed texture on it. So take your buds or something and give it that. So you could just maybe get this and get like a color, kind of get rid of that cross. You could use better to actually get it look better, but just a quick sample. And then you could add like we did with the bag of weed, and you can get like your buds in there and tweak it however you want, and then export it into your mod folder, and just do the same thing you did with the bags. And that's that. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all there is to it. And then once you get in game and it's raining, so let me get rid of the rain and turn it daylight. So there we go. Then you would just make your little garden plot. There we go. And then we can spawn in our seed pack. And then make sure you got it right. You can change the RV mat to get rid of that, but I didn't bother with it when I made this for my old server. Open it, make sure you got your seeds, and then plant it. Make sure it plants like that perfectly. Get something like a pot. Now I already started growing some, just I know it takes a little time. And then water. And make sure you see the little stick come out. That way you know it's working. And then you'll see stages, and then when it's finished you'll see a different color. You'll see it's a different texture, and it's got cannabis leaves on it. And it's a little touchy. There you go. Sometimes you gotta get the dot right on there. Then you get the gather option, so you'll hold, and then boom, you got your buds. And then there's my little 40 hates that I did. And then you just take your bag and combine it. And then, boom, you got your bag of weed. And then you could do that, keep doing that until you get a whole stack. And then if you made the bricks, then you just take those, combine it with duct tape or whatever, and then boom, you'll get your brick. But that's pretty much it. That's the whole process of making your own weed mod. And you could tweak around with it. Yeah, make it whatever colors, do whatever you want. It's pretty much a very same process to make anything growable. So you could get a little more creative, do something else. It doesn't have to be weed. It's the same process as long as you have your plants calling for the buds, and as long as you have your seeds calling for your seeds. That's pretty much what you want, just like what I showed you. So it's the same process for anything to do with any type of growing. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in my Discord, and link to the raw files will be in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.